Alright, so the preview of Love on Netflix. So let's start off with how we typically do the reviews, which is we're going to start off with the plot. And so this is a 3-view, but we all watched the entire series though, right? Like we all watched 10 of the 10 episodes. You didn't?
I didn't. I watched like 5.
5? Okay, so that's fair. The beginning was rough for me. The first couple episodes were just like, one person described it to me, and it made sense as like watching the Judd Apatow movie. Like the beginning is a little bit like, okay, and it's not until later you get that payoff. So for me, it was a bit of a struggle. And then eventually, once we got to episode like 7, 8, 9, is when I was like, okay, I'm good. But for now, I'm like, yeah, the plot's not. It's not anything new. It's not anything innovative for me.
Yeah, I agree. The first couple of episodes were just, I guess they were laying pipe, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, I've seen this before. There's nothing new about this. Oh, he's a nerdy guy. Oh, she doesn't have her life together. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like, who cares? We've seen this story like a million times.
We've all said it. Like the first 2 episodes, for me, I was like, I don't even think I'm going to be able to watch the third. I was very much against the show, and I then started watching the 3rd and the 4th, and you see these characters develop through the storyline, and you see these like demons and struggles come out through them, and that's when I was like, this is human, this is real, and it is different. I mean, it does have a lot of similarities to a lot of what we've seen, but I think the fact that it's all on Netflix, available for like you can watch all 10 episodes at one time. I think it's a great show for that. Once you finish the show, to go back and look at the first 2 episodes, you appreciate them.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the rest of the show, the first 2 episodes are the first few episodes really are very why am I watching another one of these shows?
Right.
It's something that in its entirety it can be appreciated.
As far as stuff that we've seen before, I think that's something that we will always see. Is like the will they, won't they, when will they, when are they going to? And like I think one of the hardest things about putting a male and female, especially a show called Love, where we are assuming that they will eventually fall in love and be together, is how to prolong that.
Yeah.
How can I make like 2 people that we want to see get together without doing it all in the first 2 episodes?
Yeah. I think this show captures like courtship and dating and falling in love and all that for millennials perfectly. Again, You're the Worst is also pretty good. But I think that specifically for courtship and falling in love and all the ideas that, that you should fall in love, you meet someone, you fall in love, you get married, blah, 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 and then it's like happily ever after. It's done really well in the age of like technology, which is a big part of the show, where, texting and social apps.
What to say,
when to send it.
Oh, should I text back? Yeah.
These are the things that...
mind games, even though it's like he just didn't have his phone.
Yeah.
Like,
these are the things people who were born before us never had to deal with, because it was just a different era. People called and talked.
Yeah, in the 90s, it was like, why hasn't he called
Yeah,
yet? And
yeah.
now we get that whole like, his eyes light up when she actually texts back.
Yeah, and remember how he keeps checking his phone?
Yeah.
That is so relatable.
Or like when they steal his phone and then he writes like 40 messages to her. He's like, please don't hate me. Don't ignore me. Why are you ignoring me?
What I really, really liked about the show, even though I have my things about it, is that this show pretty much, they talked about like the technology stuff, but they pretty much avoided like, oh, I met this guy on Tinder. I met this guy on the dating website. It was very much what was exactly like surrounding them. Like Birdie and like the people that she dated, or even Gus and the people that he interacted with, or dated or whatever, were all people he directly knew.
Exactly.
It was never like, oh, Tinder or bring it over.
Yeah.
Like, it was all really organic. And so it still like alluded to, this is the dating culture, but it wasn't like, but we'll make sure for the millennials we put all these other things in there that every other show does, and it's never utilized well. And we can move on. Let's actually the next step would be the characters, talking about the individual performances.
Gus. He's super likable, I think. Wonderful. I can watch him forever. Super likable, super relatable, great character. And I think the Gillian Jacobs character, she's I guess you would call her like very unlikably likable. Not very opposite of Gus, obviously, and but also not very likable in many, many ways. But the performances themselves, she's really good at doing that specific type of role.
I mean, it's very similar to Britta in a way, what she played on Community.
Yeah, or even
closed off, then you find
or
layers.
Mimi Rose
Yes,
on Girls that she played was a very like eccentric, kind of darker
Yeah.
character, which was very different than her roles on Community.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoy seeing her being a little rough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really do.
Right.
I think she's actually really funny with that.
Yeah.
Can I say though that my
Yeah.
favorite character, maybe I'm biased, but was Birdie.
Yes,
Oh,
my
I
favorite
love
too.
Birdie.
Love
That's what I was
it.
gonna
Yeah.
say. Probably one of my favorite supporting characters.
Yes.
Like every time she does a focus group thing,
Yeah.
it's so
funny.
funny. Also, there's something about the way she talks, not being an Australian accent, but
Yeah.
her upward inflections
Inflection,
for everything
yeah.
is
We do
just
that.
trying to keep so positive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't mind that he has sex with boys.
But it's
Like,
like-
it's just so funny.
You expect a character like Gus to sort of be the loser, the doormat for
Mhm.
someone who's if you compare their looks, she's clearly better looking. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. You would expect the better looking person to have a better social life and more, going to parties and all that
Right.
stuff. But she turns out to be more lonely than him, those characters tend to be more lonely, the dorky, nerdy
Yeah.
ones. Which I really liked about the show. That's what I really like.
That's why he loves his DVDs. He loves making up songs about movies that
Yeah.
are really funny, but he just doesn't know how to get a real job. And I think I love his storyline of being a teacher for a child actor because he's so close to it, but he's in nowhere
So
near
close.
any
Yeah.
sort of position
So
for
far.
it. Like,
Yeah.
Love is relatable to a lot of other shows. And so what other shows do you think it relates to? Other than like You're the Worst, otherwise than Master of None.
Casual. I think it's a little bit like Casual.
Okay.
In the whole, it's with shows like Master of None and especially You're the Worst, it's kind of drawing light on millennials and how we date, obviously. But Casual, I think, is bringing in like an older generation and how they deal with being in the dating scene of a millennial, like in the day and age of cell phones and things like that. So I think it's kind of relatable to that in a way.
I actually thought, as far as all the episodes I saw, that it was most similar to Girls. That I thought, not only just because it's the same producer, but it's like the way Girls highlights that New York hipster culture.
Yeah.
I felt like this highlighted LA hipster culture and the things that living in LA and being in that generation, what LA life is like.
Yeah, New Girl, I guess. But I feel Love does a better job in a way because it just picks that one topic of love.
Right.
Whereas New Girl, I mean, it's just about people, and some of them, when they do fall in love, and that's not just the only thing that they have going on, or it's not the only topic that they deal with. It's about their life. Whereas Love is just two characters, and they just pick and they just stick to that. So I guess Love does a better job at focusing on one thing.
Okay, so we can actually get into, is the show worth watching? I think the show is, like I said earlier, a second tier Master of None, in that it's not a bad show, but if you're going to spend time for it, I think it's worth watching other shows than spending 10 hours. Well, not 10 hours, but like
It's
5
hours.
5 hours. If you're going to spend 5 hours on something, make it something else other than love.
I think people should just check it out. The acting is good. It's funny. The characters are, at least one of them is really likable. Birdie is also likable. Yeah, and the main Gus is likable.
Gus.
Yeah. I think people should check it out for sure.
I recommend that it is worth watching, but I think if you're going to watch it, watch all 10 episodes. I feel like it's kind of show that you need to see the entire product and not just make a judgment based on what you see in the first few episodes. But I recommend it.
I actually highly recommend it. I really loved Love.
No,
That's-
there it is!
About time somebody said it. I can't believe we went
A
this
whole
long and no
episode.
one said I love Love. But I did, and I would actually highly recommend it to most people.
Yeah.
I thought the dialogue strong, I thought the acting strong, and I thought the plot lines are actually really strong.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Is it the best show I've ever seen? No, but
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to be something really good.
Yeah.
And that was our preview of Love on Netflix. What have you guys thought about it? Do you guys think it was good? Do you guys think it was bad? We actually have a poll right over here that you guys can actually select yes or no. But also you can talk to us about it in the comments as well. Also, if you're new to Telemazing, make sure you subscribe below. We do so much content for you guys each week. We have all the YouTube videos that we do. Along with that, we have our podcast we do every Monday and our Periscope live television show that we do on Wednesdays as well. And so check us out. We do so much to make these videos and these podcasts and these things are so cool and awesome and, hip and cool and snappy for you kids and rascals out there. So make sure you subscribe and, more power to you.
See you next time.
Okay.
So I was going to say
I
how
am
good that
going
ending
to.
was.